Players around the world have been asking this question for decades. How do I train to be the best basketball player that I can be? Online skills coaches promise to give you the answers if you comment a generic word under their latest Instagram reel and sign up to their handle masterclass. Boo! Stop doing that. Stop scamming the kids for profits. Boo! Heck, even the government spent $100 trillion to try and uncover the mystery of how to become a better basketball player just last year. I don't even think that's true, but it sure sounded great. What is the elusive, mighty secret to becoming a better basketball player? Well, I'll tell you. Right after you sign up to my handle master. Man, these guys actually drive me insane. So, how is it that you're supposed to train and get better as a basketball player? Do you need to spend money on a personal trainer or an online coach? And what are the secrets that professionals are using to keep their edge on the competition? I'll answer all this in today's video, and I'll even give you a practice plan template that you can start using to keep making those improvements. First thing you need to know when it comes to practicing to become a better basketball player, and honestly, to practice anything, is nothing beats doing the thing. If you want to become a better passer, you pass the ball a lot. If you want to become a better ball handler, you dribble the basketball a lot. If you want to become a better shooter, no, you ask Ja Morant. Yes, some drills are more efficient than others, and they can target some specific minute changes that you need to make. But the majority of players out there that just want the instant fix to become the best basketball player out there, you just need to play more basketball. Obviously, every coach and trainer will tell you that some skills are more important than others. Ideally, we'd be working on all of our skills and going with a more holistic approach, which means your practice plan should probably reflect that. Shooting, dribbling, footwork, strength and conditioning, defense, and IQ. I'll give some examples later on in the practice plan and show you how we can fit all these in, but I promise you it's exactly as simple as it seems. Also, you want to know what secret drill Kevin Durant did to become an NBA player? He's 7 foot tall. Yeah, he was probably always going to make it. Which brings us to my next point. Most elite players didn't become elite because they have some secret practice plan with the 7 secret herbs and spices. The truth is, most of them just love the game so much that they spend thousands and thousands of hours playing, and they have no choice but to improve, even if they were doing the worst drills in the world. I coach players all the time that have the basketball player or ball is life in their Instagram bio, but they'll practice basketball 2 hours a day and they'll play Fortnite or Call of Duty for 3 to 4 hours a day. Mate, you're not a basketball player that likes playing Fortnite. You're a Fortnite player that sometimes likes to play basketball. Bars. So, not only was Kevin Durant 7 foot tall, but he also lived and breathed basketball. Breathed or breathed? I don't know. If you truly want to improve at something, then you will absolutely have to dedicate a significant amount of time and probably sacrifice some other things that you might enjoy doing. As most of you know, I'm a huge video game nerd. Peep the shirt. But I gave up video games pretty much for 10 years straight when I was playing in college and professionally. Not for some moral high ground reasons, but I honestly just didn't have the time. Basketball being my full-time job, I honestly didn't have much time for anything else. Now, I personally wouldn't go back and change it for anything, and I'm also not telling you guys that you need to take out all the fun or extra activities that you do in your spare time, but you really do need to be honest with the amount of time that you're going to put into something you want to improve at and see if it actually matches up with your goals. It is very important to keep that work-life balance, far more important than most people will let you know. And lastly, should you hire a skills trainer or pay for an online course? Honestly, I can't just give you that answer, but I can educate you as much as possible so that you can make the best choice for yourself. I've personally worked with skills trainers a ton in my career, and honestly, I always got far more out of just training by myself or with a teammate or a friend. Also, majority of NBA players made it to the NBA without ever hiring a skills trainer, and most skills trainers didn't make NBA players great. They just happened to be a part of that journey. Myself included as a coach. I've worked with hundreds of NBA players and overseas players, and I would not ever once consider myself the reason that they made it to be an elite player. And even more so, I wouldn't consider myself the NBA pro skills coach. Ugh, feels gross just saying it. I've gone to so many workouts with other pro players where these skills trainers would have us doing the silliest drills or the most over-the-top exercises. Then those same trainers would go and tell people that they coached us. Yeah, I guess semantically and technically that's true, but we were just being nice, my guy. Your drills, you were trash. You're not good.
Sorry, not sorry.
If you just need some one-on-one feedback or maybe a confidence boost, one-on-one training can be perfect if you find the right person. But it's no magic bullet or replacement for the direct individual input from yourself. As for online courses, I'll be frank, but I'm frank. Okay. But yeah, anyways, most of the information or drills that you need is already available out there on YouTube and Google for free. If you do have a lot of disposable income and you're not going to miss that money, hire a personal trainer or a skills coach or sign up for these online courses. But yeah, just know what you're getting into. It's really all about learning the drills and learning how to work out so that you can start implementing those yourself and make sure you're improving in your own time. Trainers and coaches should be like physiotherapists. Their job should be to teach you and make you better so that you don't have to come back and see them multiple times a week for the next 10 years. We should all be teaching you how to improve on your own so that you're not only getting better while you're with coaches. So the practice plan. When I'm working out with a player, I generally have like a checklist that I go through with them so that I can gauge their skill level with specific fundamentals. These drills I'll add to the Patreon over the next few days, so just keep checking back there. But basically, I check their ability to finish at the basket with proper footwork, their shooting consistency, their ball handling, and their ability to apply and listen to feedback. Other words, learning how to learn. All of these skills are extremely important when it comes to improving, and it usually takes about 5 sessions for the more elite players or the better players to have a grasp on the fundamentals and what they need to be working on in their spare time. Once they can master the basics, I'll usually develop a more personalized training plan that usually includes a high amount of game film and goal setting. There is no magical number or secret formula, but you should first sit down and decide how much free time you have to spend each week. Then how much of that free time you want to spend practicing. This doesn't include your team practice, but we'll get to that in a sec. Once you know how much time you have to allocate towards training, you can then put a schedule together that will help you reach your goals. This schedule should include which days you will practice individually, which days you'll use to learn and research or develop your IQ, and which days you will spend on strength and conditioning. We already did a full overview on strength and conditioning in one of our previous videos, so check that out if you haven't. Remember, you can spend any amount of days or time on these things as you want, but I would generally recommend spending at least an hour a day on focused training if you're wanting to continue improvement. This by itself would come out to 7 hours per week. Then if you practice with your team for about an hour and a half a day, that'll add up to around 10 hours. Add those together, that's around 17 hours per week. 17 hours is plenty if you just want to play casually and just enjoy basketball as a side hobby. But unless you're in the top percentile with size or athleticism, you're likely going to have to put in around 30 hours at minimum if you're wanting to possibly start for your high school team or have a career after that. Remember that 40 hours per week is considered a full-time job for an adult. So if you're saying you want to play basketball for a living, but you can't commit to 40 hours per week, then you're losing ground pretty quick. I just know way too many people that say,
I just don't have the time right now, but if I were getting paid a full-time wage to just play basketball 40 hours a week, I could do that easily.
Yeah, bud, that's not how it works. Just for the job you want, not the job you have.
Bars.
So if you have 20 hours per week or less, I would suggest spending as much of that time just playing casually with your friends as you can. That way you're working on your conditioning a little bit and you're getting to practice your skills against a moving defense. Then I would try to find at least 5 hours per week for strength and conditioning, and then another 5 hours to review game film or to just learn new drills. If you want to take basketball more seriously, however, I would highly suggest trying to find 2 to 3 hours per day to work on your game individually. This doesn't mean you have to be on the court or in the weight room for those 2 to 3 hours, but watching game film, scheduling your workouts, shooting by yourself, active recovery, this is all considered time working on your craft. The more targeted you can be with each of those workouts, then even better, because at the end of the day, you know more than anyone else what it is you need to be working on and what your weaknesses are. I know all this sounds incredibly confusing. You're probably scribbling down notes like crazy. Just remember what we said at the beginning. There's nothing more important than just doing the thing. Get the basketball in your hands, and that is half the battle. So I'll add an example workout plan, weekly one and an individual daily one, to the Patreon and the website later on this week that you can download. It'll just be an example of workouts that I use with players. That way you'll kind of have an idea of what we're talking about. Speaking of which, we're up to 17 paid Patreon members, which is insane. And I've really enjoyed getting to know you guys and following your journey so far. So that's awesome. Also, the lone YouTube member, Butch, still by himself, but it's okay. I love you all the same. Anyways, I hope this video helped you. And I've been getting tons of questions on people asking about footwork. And I recently just did this footwork video. I'm assuming they haven't seen it. So go check it out. This one's the one. So yeah, anyways.